Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Porpoise from Zero G Videos, and today I will be giving my thoughts on Skyrush, an intimate mega coaster at Hersheypark in Pennsylvania. Skyrush is pretty controversial, so I've decided to make it the first roller coaster that I officially review on this channel. Keep in mind this is just my opinion and not fact, so let's get right into the review. Skyrush starts off by climbing 200 feet into the air. Sorry, I mean racing 200 feet high. This lift hill is fucking fast. It's probably faster than the average Mack rides, or is it Mach? I don't know, it doesn't even matter. Launch, which isn't saying much, but still. Then you go into a drop with great airtime. If you want to see what it feels like for someone to attempt to launch you into space with a catapult, I would assume that the back row on Skyrush is very similar. Then you go into a tight turn which is really forceful, and into the ride's first airtime hill. This is probably the result of one of Nitro's sustained airtime moments and El Toro's Rolling Thunder Hill fucking each other hard, with a bit of RMC Speedo thrown in here as well. Then comes a low to the ground bank turn with some nice positive G's, and then what's probably my favorite part of the ride, the second airtime hill. Basically, this is the first airtime hill, but it feels a lot fucking stronger, like I mean a lot, and it's directly under the first airtime hill, so you also get a really cool near miss. This is one of my favorite near misses on any roller coaster, except Gatekeeper. That shit gets crazy close to your ass, I swear. And the fact that you're thrown out of your seat at apparently negative 2 Gs according to Wikipedia makes it even more insane. After that comes my favorite non-airtime moment of the ride. A turn just like the other two, but it's directly over the water, which is cool. The end of this element overbanks with really fun transitions both in and out of the overbanked part. That was one of two big surprises that came with my re-rides this year. The other I'll get to in a bit. You then go left for a little bit before going into the overbank's baby brother. Although I prefer the previous overbank, you do get a tiny pop of airtime during this one's transition. After that comes a really whippy twisted airtime hill that has surprisingly weak airtime, and then Skyrush's version of the Rolling Thunder Hill and El Toro. If you've ridden either of these coasters, you know what this feels like. A quick but powerful pop of ejector airtime that feels like it's trying to rip your body from your legs and send it over to Lightning Racer as a happy birthday present. There's one final overbank turn that is very alright, and then you hit the brakes. Overall, the layout is short, but it packs a punch with every element standing out, and there's not a single dead spot. Before I start on the pros and cons, I just have to get something out of the way. Remember when I said that the overbanks on this ride were one of two surprises from my 2021 re-rides? The Restraints were the other one. When I first rode this in 2018, I thought that the Restraints weren't terrible, but they definitely weren't great either. These give the ride the nickname Thigh Crush, and many people despise them for coming down in your legs during the ride. These people are fucking delicate ass Barbie balls. Yeah, I said it. I personally love these Restraints now for the freedom that they give you during the ride. They're lap bars, but they come down from above, so none of your body really feels restricted. I don't really care if you like Skyrush or hate it, but if you're a hater solely because of the Restraints, then you're honestly just being an overdramatic little whiny bitch. It's undeniable that they do come down during the ride, but it's not nearly as much as other people say. And it's definitely not to the point of feeling pain, except for maybe the last bunny hill if you get stapled by a ride up. It personally does not bother me at all, and on a ride like this, I would actually much rather have them than a traditional lap bar like on Millennium Force or Candymonium. This ride stands out mainly for its four main insane ejector airtime moments. The drop, the two camelback airtime hills, and the final bunny hill all provide very powerful airtime. The second overbank and twisted airtime hill also provide some nice negatives, but the other four moments are the star of the show. The only part of the ride that I would consider to be even close to a dead moment is the final overbank before the brakes. The rest of the ride goes from element to element without giving you any time to breathe in between the elements. It powers through its course and never feels like it loses any speed, unlike another airtime focused hyper coaster made by a Swiss manufacturer near the front entrance of Hersheypark. I already talked about this. Basically, you feel really free with these lap bars. Are you really feeling leg pain or just overreacting to mild discomfort? Skyrush's transitions hit a perfect mark between floaty and jerky. They're very fast, which provides a really fun and out of control feeling, especially on the first overbank and twisted airtime hill at the end. But unlike Sidewinder at the same park, or the average roller coaster in Planet Coaster, they don't feel like they're trying to break your neck with jerkiness. The low to the ground bank turns, especially the one right after the first drop, are very forceful. In the Wayne seats, it's honestly comparable to being in a hydraulic press. I haven't actually been in a hydraulic press, so take this with a grain of salt, but I imagine that the first few seconds will be similar to Skyrush's turns before it starts to hurt as the metal arm thingy brutally crushes your bones and organs down to a pulp. Some people say that this has a bad and repetitive layout. I think it's the opposite. It has a clear focus, that being fast pacing to provide an out of control feeling. It's also really not that repetitive, like there's only 2 large camelback hills, and it hits on pretty much everything that a twist or hyper layout should. There's not a single wasted element, and they all stand out and are very memorable. Although it's lacking in theming, I really like how it looks. The modern track design that Intamin used on this is absolutely stunning in my eyes, and the light blue and yellow is also a nice color combo. They also put it on and around a small lake, which really makes the coaster stand out, and improves a lot of the elements on the ride, especially the turn after the second camelback. I already talked about how I like the restraints for the free feeling, but the trains are amazing. For the best and most free experience, you can sit on a lowered wing seat that hangs off the side of the train, leaving nothing above or below you. But if that's too scary, you can always sit in the middle, where it's really just a normal seating arrangement. As much as I like the lap bars on this ride, it's undeniable that once the ride stops, it becomes mildly uncomfortable when that's really the only thing to focus on. But Skyrush's brake run has this weird thing where the lap bars loosen an inch or two on the final block brake section, so if there's a holdup in the station, there's no discomfort whatsoever. So, airtime thrills, you can stop bitching about a piece of rubber now, or whatever these lap bars are made of. This lift hill is super fast, and I love the feeling of going that fast uphill. Plus, it provides some extra speed for the layout. There are some cons to that though, I'll talk about it in a bit. Now that we've gone through that long ass list of cool shit on this ride, it's time to cover some downside, nitpicks in this case. Don't expect a long ride with Skyrush. It's very short, but it still feels complete and every element stands out, so I don't mind. There isn't really a theme for Skyrush. I don't really give a fuck, but I know some people care about that, so don't expect anything more than a generic hypercoaster. The queue line is also kinda trash, it's really just a bunch of switchbacks before the station. Luckily it is shaded and the landscaping is alright, I guess. Okay, so I know I praised this part of the ride, but there are some negatives. You don't get any time to look at the great view it should have for being 200 feet high, and there is like no anticipation buildup, which I do like on other hypercoasters like Nitro or Candemonium. It's not the end of the world though. All these cons are really just nitpicks for me, as I said earlier. Skyrush stands out for its strong forces and fast pacing. The only major thing that I don't really like about Skyrush is the lack of theming, which is honestly still just a minor nitpick. I give this a final score of 10 out of 10. This ride has virtually no flaws and earns a nice spot at 2nd out of 77 in my rankings. It's not quite as good as El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure, but it slightly edges out Maverick at Cedar Point and Jersey Devil at Six Flags Great Adventure for me. Maverick, Jersey Devil, and Skyrush are all very close for me, and sometimes I feel like Maverick is better than Skyrush or Jersey Devil is better than both, but it honestly depends on my mood. The only reason that I prefer Skyrush more often than Maverick or Jersey Devil is because they both have trash over-the-shoulder restraints in my eyes, as they really restrict you in your seat, unlike Skyrush's over-the-shoulder lap bars. Thanks for watching everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more like it, feel free to subscribe. Comment down below your opinions on Skyrush, whether you agree or think my takes are completely bullshit. Bye everyone!